On this, her centennial birth anniversary, we celebrate a woman who has left an indelible impression on the business community, on our society, on our lives. Gliceria Glecy Tantoco, a loving wife and mother, a brilliant businesswoman, a woman of vision, who not only became the matriarch of 5 generations, but is also the brains and moving force behind the birth of luxury retail in the Philippines. Rustan's group of companies is now the top luxury and lifestyle brand retailer in the Philippines. With interests in department stores, fashion boutiques, specialty stores, food, coffee chains, leisure, and property development. All these owing to the pioneering vision, the steadfast entrepreneurship, and the unfaltering work ethic of the woman we lovingly call Glecy. It all began when she accompanied her husband Benny, a successful corporate executive and businessman, on a trip to Hollywood in 1951. It was there Glecy saw so many beautiful things she knew would be perfect pasalubongs for her friends and family. It was also then when she discovered business was in her genes. Glecy decided to purchase carefully selected first-rate pieces to sell from their elegant home in San Marcelino. With a very supportive Benny, Glecy grew her retail business while raising their children. She sold exquisite things to friends and friends of friends, and her home would become known for Mrs. Tantoco's beautiful things. Right after the war, she opened a small souvenir shop. Then in 1952, she opened the very first Rustan store in San Marcelino, which soon became the go-to for quality buys. From the very beginning, Glecy believed that the customer always came first. She had a keen sense of what the customer needed and believed in giving the Filipino customer top-of-the-line quality, always and only the world's best in lifestyle. GRT, as she was to become known, believed shopping should not only be comfortable and pleasant, but also personal. She introduced the concept of shopping as an experience, and that being able to touch the merchandise was part and parcel of that experience. Thus, Rustan's tagline became, "Where shopping is a pleasure." Glecy didn't just think of local shoppers. She looked not only inward, but outward too. Rustan's was first to bring in foreign luxury brands into Philippine retail, way ahead of other countries in Southeast Asia and China. Her relationship with these brands extended beyond mere business, as she and her family members built personal relationships with the families behind Europe's major fashion houses, even hosting visits of fashion legends. All ties that bind to this day. She was way ahead of her time, a global Filipino, even before the word global became a buzzword. She introduced global brands to the Filipino. built up local brands, and introduced them to the Filipino. Then, introduced the best of the Filipino to the world. She discovered and nurtured Filipino artists and designers. And our very own became Rustan's battle cry, resounding to this day. Through all these, Glecy never shirked on her duties as wife and mother. She was the consummate diplomat's wife to Ambassador Bienvenido Tantoco Sr. And as far as her children were concerned, she was a hands-on mentor, bringing her then-young children on her buying trips, to the store, training them and their children to work, both front of house and behind the scenes. She trained them in the tough tasks of the business, sharpening their eye for merchandise, how to purchase, market and display them creatively, and most importantly, how to offer highly personalized customer service. Aside from business matters, Glecy was also an advocate of the arts and the Filipino artist, an endeavor that is continued by her children through the Rustan's group of companies. And that is how and why the Rustan's brand DNA lives on. Glecy has inspired the next generations of Tantocos to succeed in all they do, as she continues to be their inspiration to this very day. Glecy Tantoco's legacy is timeless. Yes, she bequeathed her values, sense of entrepreneurship, and vision to her children and grandchildren. But Glecy Tantoco, the boss, also made sure the business leaders and staff of Rustan's also shared these values and her vision, her values of customer service, quality merchandise, hard work, and, above all else, love. Glecy loved her staff. Glecy loved her family.
At nasa iyo ang tanging pag-asa.
Glecy loved the Filipino.
Asahan mong dalangin ko tuwing
And we love her too.